Hello. Today I will be giving my speech on literacy rate decline. This speech's purpose is to inform my fellow classmates about the decline in literacy rates. One thing we can all agree on is that a few years ago, in 2020, when the pandemic hit, all the current students really suffered with their academics. Schools shut down for months at a time. The future seemed unclear. According to the New York Times article, "It's alarming children are severely behind in reading." There are studies that show a third of students are missing benchmarks. COVID has added fuel to the fire in the growing literacy rates. In the deep south of Mississippi, there lies a town where a third of adults struggle to pay bills due to poor literacy skills. According to the article, a fifth of American adults struggle to read. Why are we failing them? 48 million Americans struggle to read in the present time. Literacy struggles can lead to poor income, homelessness, inadequacy to live a normal life that most of us take for granted. I have been working as a substitute teacher and a paraprofessional for the past 3 years. I have been around hundreds of students ranging from 2nd grade all the way to 12th grade. On a recent sub-job, I asked a few students their thoughts on reading. The results were not shocking to me. Most of them are against it. The reason felt heartbreaking from a writer's point of view. One 7th grade student I quoted saying, "Reading is boring. It takes forever. Sometimes it doesn't teach me anything." In this speech, I will discuss early childhood development and middle school cognitive development, the recent impact that COVID has had, and the outcome of adults with literacy issues. According to the International Literacy Association, play is just as important for literacy advancement in early childhood. Playtime, as of recently, has been reduced and replaced with skill-based lessons. Not enough focus on decoding skills, vocabulary, and comprehension. These are skills that are they're needed for effective reading, for students to comprehend what they are reading. According to the Journal of Educational Psychology, when cognitive skills develop, students might be more inclined to follow social and environmental situations than educational ones. Young students facing difficulties in their studies could lead to poor self-esteem and poor comprehension skills. Students most affected are Black, Hispanic, low-income, students with disabilities, and non-English speakers. There was a growing decline before COVID. According to the New York Times study, in the region of Boston, 60% of students have reading problems, twice the amount from before the pandemic. The growing rate of reading problems came from not only a health standpoint, but the challenges of remote learning. Not to mention the teacher shortage. America has a growing need in teachers and special needs educators. And why do we have such a shortage? Shortage of educators trained in phonics and phonics awareness are also needed. Teacher preparation programs like preparation and emphasizing curriculums that are imperative for students' reading success in the classroom. The cause of illiteracy in adults comes from most of the topics covered. Not only are school curriculums to blame, but also low-income communities are far more likely to have high dropout rates. Even though this reading epidemic, communities still lack adult programs. If there were programs, the tax would be an issue within the community. Race and geography play a huge role in how unequal American education is. Elected officials take advantage of programs to help get elected, while programs are not efficient or accessible for all Americans who need them. and funding has not changed in over 2 decades for these programs. Should this not be something that is imperative in our society for communities, for jobs, to secure the future of these students that were once students and have now been completely abandoned by all the resources available. There are many factors that contribute to America's low literacy rate. Early childhood education is imperative to develop the proper skills that students need to have a successful reading and writing future, along with comprehensive vocabulary and decoding skills. As Americans are still facing the after effects of COVID and its impact in our education system, students are missing important benchmarks, and we are not developing the proper skills they are not developing the proper skills to comprehend reading. I think it's important to note, I'm aware it's easy to read into statistics and think our education system is doomed, which I have a visual aid. Here you can see this is kindergarten grade 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Most of this outer line is from 2019 to 2021. And now over here, this is 2021 to 2022. And our numbers are still very high, very, very low from what we had in 2019 of the percent of students, ready for any core, that have any core reading skills. It's also easy to assume that most of our future generations will not be getting proper education. I believe there is always some magic when it comes to reading. I would like to end this with a quote from a local student in my community. Her name is Brianna. She's a 7th grader. She said, quote, I like reading because it's interesting, it's fun, and there's a lot of topics to choose from. She's currently reading The Name of the Star series, and I hope that she continues reading. I think it's very beautiful. Thank you so much.